All right. So, related in terms of paleontology, our next guest is the collections manager here in geology and paleontology. And she has a particular interest in cephalopods. And so, let's hear about it. Let's welcome Trish Weaver to our stage. You can learn a lot from a cephalopod, is that right?
Yeah, that's true. You can learn a lot from a cephalopod. Do all of you know what cephalopods are? Okay, good. And for those of you who may have forgotten, there are octopus, squid, nautiloids, those group of animals, all the animals that have their heads at their feet. That's what the name means. And we can learn a lot from cephalopods. Most of you have probably already heard little anecdotal stories like Paul, the prognosticating octopus who picked the winner of the World Cup. You've heard about, fish or crabs or other things going missing from aquariums, and then their remains being found days later in the octopus tank that's 3 doors down, and how did it get there? You may have seen pictures of octopus opening jars or cuttlefish opening jars. So they're really smart, they're very weird, and we can learn a lot from them. So here's some of the things we're learning. In neuroscience, what we do is the human brain is very similar to the cephalopod brain. So we can use that as a model for neuroscience research. And what's nice about the cephalopod brain is the axon, that main nerve there, is big, it's thick, it's not flimsy like ours is. So we can use that to practice on if we're learning to be a neurosurgeon. We can use that axon for that. So that's very handy, and they've been doing that for 100 years, so squid have been helping us out for a good long time. A couple of other things we can use cephalopods for is Parkinson's disease. Again, it has to do with the axon. What people are doing now is looking at environmental toxins and how they're transported along the axon. And the good thing is the squid axon is very big, so you can watch it happen. And watching how that axon degrades over time and then, gets the twitchy and the motor functions. So we use squid for that. We can also look at something called senescence in regards to Alzheimer's disease. Cephalopods have, particularly the coleoid cephalopods, which are the naked ones, octopus, squid, cuttlefish, have a very interesting life history. They hatch, they grow very, very, very fast, they get really, really smart, they have sex, they get really, really stupid, and then they die. And so one of the guys at the aquarium in Seattle likes to say, there is no such thing as safe sex for cephalopods. Because basically, if you have sex, you're going to be dumb as dirt, and it's going to kill you. And it's true, and what happens during senescence is octopus forget to eat, they lose motor coordination, they don't learn anything new, and this is similar to what we see in Alzheimer's, and in fact, they're using it as a model for Alzheimer's research, because this is what the loss of motor function is very similar in humans. Another thing we can do with cephalopods is look at them biomechanically, and this is coming up these days with robotic arms and prosthetics. A woman, grad student at the Washington University, recently won a design award for a new prosthetic that was based on the octopus arm. And the reason for doing this is, if you think about the hooks that a lot of people have as prosthetics, you can pinch things, you can grab them, but it's very easy to drop things out of it, whereas a cephalopod arm will go 360. It's very good at holding things and picking things up, just as octopus do. So it's a very cool thing in robotics. I've seen video of a robotic arm that was based on a cephalopod. They're holding onto a Coke can, and somebody's trying to snatch it, and they can't do it because it holds onto it really well. So, and the last couple of things we can learn from cephalopods, these are very quick facts about cephalopods, are cephalopod ink contains dopamine. We don't know why. Maybe they want to make the prey happy before they're dead. Cephalopods have 3 hearts, 2 gill hearts and 1 systemic. Cephalopods are very good, particularly the octopus and the cuttlefish, at mimicking their environment. They're very good at camouflage. They're colorblind. And all of those things, octopus, cuttlefish, and squid, have internal shells. Not all octopus have internal shells. And that's what I'm working on fossil-wise. So I thank you very much. And I want to say one last thing is I welcome our new cephalopod overlords.
Yes. Trish Weaver. She's here all the, you can see her presenting in the Daily Planet Theater all the time, talking up her cephalopods. So cephalopods cause Alzheimer's, is that what you said? I have very good learning and retention capabilities. Okay, that's what I thought. So don't eat them. That's the takeaway.